Howdy folks, welcome back. Another game from the archives with the mighty Jingles. It's the Jagdtiger on Redshire. Tier 10 game, lots of tier 10s in this one. A T110E5, 4 mouses and an IS4. But that doesn't scare me. I am the mighty Jingles and I have a Jagdtiger with a 128mm pack gun. It is an incredible gun. I mean, it doesn't have the alpha damage of the BL10 or the gun on the T30. They do 750 average. This thing does, I forget the exact number, it's over 500. But it's got a faster rate of fire and it is deadly accurate. Something that the other tier 9 tank destroyers can't say. And this was another good game. Now, I do like playing Redshire in a tank destroyer and starting on this side of the map, and it just, put it this way, if you're on the enemy team and you know there's a Jagdtiger and you know he's somewhere up on this ridge line, you are going to have all kinds of problems, and this game is no different. I only end up getting 1 kill, but you count the number of tanks that I leave on 7% for somebody else to finish off in this match. I love the Jagdtiger. It's the first serious tank destroyer. Well, that's not true. The Ferdinand is probably the first serious tank destroyer I had. But the Jagdtiger, and I was absolutely awful in it. My first 20, 30, 40 games, I hated this thing. I loved the gun. Absolutely loved the gun on it. But it takes a long time to get used to playing this thing. You die to artillery like you wouldn't believe. And it has its weaknesses even from normal tank guns. That lower plate, I mean technically it's supposed to be built on the hull of a Tiger II. But the hull isn't even as strong as a Tiger II's hull. What can you do? You know, that's what Wargaming have given you. Good hits on a T110E5 there. Such a good gun. But eventually, I got better at playing the Jagdtiger. It's not so much the machine. I mean, it's a great machine. It's just the games that it gets put into. And it's tougher now after patch 7.5. Those tier 10 medium tanks, especially the E50M, its gun is comparable to yours, and it's a smaller target. And it's a lot faster, but I still have a soft spot for the Jagdtiger. That one looked like it. Mouse turned his turret and it looked like it probably bounced. Well, I know it bounced, but it probably bounced off the mouse's turret. Now there's no shortage of targets up here, but you do have to be careful because your view range, there you go, is very restricted. From this point of view, you can't even see that rock in front of you, and it will block your sight of targets on the farmhouse over there if you're not careful. You need a certain amount of situational awareness when you're sitting on top of this hill in a tank destroyer. And now that's more like my kind of shot.
Punch right through their armor.
Oh yeah, you like that, don't you, bitch? Come on, can we get him again? Pretty sure we can. Pretty sure that hit him. But there's their other mouse. Just a little tip here, when you are aiming at a target and then he suddenly disappears from your view range, but you know he's not moving, always raise your sights just a fraction just before you fire. And the reason you do that is because when you are pointing at the outline of an enemy tank, the game will automatically adjust for shell drop and it will artificially raise your sights a little. So when that target then disappears and you're no longer locked onto him, your sights drop again. Like that. Which means that just to make sure you hit the same spot you were aimed at, just raise your sights just a fraction. Well, I'm not going to get that Type 59 because he's actually sitting down there in the river and I ain't stupid enough to go chasing after him. Now that shot went slightly wide, but I'm still confident I hit that E75. And what's this? This is what I'm talking about. I mean, it's a great gun, don't get me wrong.
Looks like that one went right through.
But it doesn't have the alpha damage of the T30 or the ISU 152 or Object 704. But I am quite happy to trade that kind of accuracy and that kind of penetration and that kind of rate of fire for the raw alpha damage and penetration of the BR-10. Our artillery finished off that wounded mouse. That was a good shot. It's still anybody's game. Scores are 5-5. But I'm feeling a little bit more confident about moving forward now. I'm pretty sure these, well, I know these guys can't spot me from over here. As you can see, they keep popping in and out of view range, and I can only see them because our AMX 1390 is making scouting runs. And because they don't have anybody... Oh, hello, a Jagdtiger 88. You think you're the daddy, do you? I'm the daddy here. There's only room for one Jagdtiger in this game, pal, and you ain't it. Jagdtiger 88, bloody pretenders to the thrones, I tell you. Another good solid hit on the Tiger 2. My apologies for the Ray Winston impression there on the Jagdtiger 88. It's not a bad machine, the Jagdtiger 88, Tier 8 premium German tank destroyer. It's basically, it's a Jagdtiger. It's got the same armour, it's the same size, same engine. It just has an 88mm gun, and it's a tier lower. Not a bad machine at all. I haven't played one, but I've seen them doing quite well. So come on, don't be shy. Come to daddy. Come on, bitches. Don't make me come after you. They're going to make me come after them, aren't they? Oh, wait a minute. E75 popped out. Oh, I'll have him. Oh, I'm so going to have him. Look at that big fat ass he's got. You're going to get spanked. Like the dirty little cow you are. You love a good spanking, don't you? There you go, 4%, somebody else kills him. You don't often get that in the Jagdtiger. You do kill tanks in the Jagdtiger, trust me. Just this game, it just seemed to be fated that I was only ever going to get one kill. However, I did spank the crap out of most of the enemy team, and that is easily good enough for a Confederate, which is nice. And 1200 XP, which, you know, ain't terrible. And 65,000 credits. Whoa. And it's because that gun does so much damage that if you stay alive to the end of the match, you are going to earn a lot of money in a Jagdtiger, because that gun is just great. I love it. And I love the machine it's mounted on. But it did take me a long time to get used to it. I died to artillery an awful, awful lot. Do not trust the published stats of the armour on this thing. It's really only good around the front of the casement, where you'll find that even with these new Tier 10 medium tank guns and the high penetration French and American, for example, Tier 10 tank guns, if you just angle the casement, there's no reason, if you're getting into a shooting match with this tank, to stay pointing directly at the target while you're reloading. Just turn to the side, even as little as 20 degrees, and providing you can keep your lower hull covered up, you'll get bounce after bounce off that upper casement. And in a straight shooting match against an IS-4, for example, this thing will win every time. It just has that rate, such a good rate of fire, and the gun does the same amount of damage. Great machine. Running up a very respectable result there in Redshire on the Jagdtiger, German Tier 9 tank destroyer. Great replay. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.